Good morning, it's Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. We're sitting here today and we've got Dan Hurd and we've got Keith Kaiser. We're going to be talking about the company that they formed, and it's going to be rock on. Now this is going to be a regular show, so if you like tuning in what we got, check us out. What we got going on here today, Dan?
Well, we've started a company called Czp Inc.
Czp Inc. Okay, cool.
And what we're doing is we're trying to aid the industry in moving the product, their storage of the product, to be able to do it more safely and security. Because when we started this company, my company with Cannabis Safety and Security, was back in 2018.
Right.
When the industry was just starting, and the threats and the concerns that the industry had at the time. Now, since we're becoming a hub, there's more and more news media about how it is and what's going on and how we're growing. We've become more stable. So now there's other areas that we need to look at: transportation, storage, all these other burdens that the industry is having, and we're trying to put a solution to that.
And I met you back in 2018 when you were running security for a couple of events and stuff, and we hooked up and had security. You escorted me several places.
True, and that's what we're friendly with the community. Even though I hire retired law enforcement and veterans, I want that skill set to be able to manage what's going on. But I want them friendly. I want them comfortable to be around. They're not trying to arrest anybody. They're not trying to do any of that. We're trying to make sure that the dispensary staff and patients stay safe. The growers keep the stuff the way they need to. The processors don't have to worry about someone coming in and getting their distillers and whatever else. It's that they do business. We help protect their business. That's all we're trying to do.
So you're going to have a storage facility then?
Correct. We're going to have a storage facility that we can actually take material from the growers and warehouse it for them.
Right.
Then we will we will put the stuff up in our software that says if you're a dispensary or processor and you're needing material, you can go on this list, find the material you're after. You'll have all the data you need to have. You click on it, say you want to have this. That will automatically prompt to the grower that has it.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
the exchange of information and price.
Okay, I thought you had to have it in your facility, but it will actually go.
No, we'll bring it. We'll bring it in.
Yeah, you'll bring it in your facility, but when someone goes on there and orders,
correct,
it will go right to the grower that grows that.
They have to agree on the price. We're not involved in the price whatsoever.
Right on.
Okay. Once they agree to the price, then we will move it to the dispensaries that have it.
Right.
Okay.
And that's one thing I liked is when you were escorting me around, is I didn't have to drive. I had armed security, and that really helped. And that's one thing transporting is people are transporting money and cannabis.
Yes.
So
And we use 2-man drive teams because if you're going to a dispensary and you have material for 5 dispensaries, you can't get out of the car and take it in and make an exchange. Nobody's watching what's in the car.
Right.
So we have 2-man drive teams to make sure that works. So there's always a backup. There's always someone else to witness what's going on.
Right.
And it's harder for somebody to do something when there's 2 of you.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That gets into that conspiracy theory deal,
Yes. And that was what was nice about working with you and Connie and whatever else. The events that you guys were doing were important in the industry, what was going on, what they were trying to do. And we were just making sure that it was done safely, it was done easily, because some people still don't like it.
Yeah.
Some people have an issue with it, and that's fine. They can have their opinion. All we're trying to do is throw a little safety to it and a little more security to it so it doesn't get to the 12-year-olds or it shouldn't. Now, one thing our company's going to do is it's going to drive out the black market.
I love driving out the black market.
Because whenever you vet the grower or the dispensary or processor, you can't use our service if you don't have an OMA number that's verified.
Right.
So we can't pick up your product if you're not doing the right thing.
Right. There you go.
So it creates an opportunity where we can track everything through. Should there be something that has gone bad, something else, an issue with it, we know exactly when and where it was picked up, who purchased it, on what date they received it. It's clean and easy.
Now that's one of those things we talked about, the storage time in your facility.
Right.
And it's a short storage time.
It is.
I love moving product. I don't like stuff sitting around on the shelf.
Right. What we're looking at is a 3 to 7 day window.
Right.
Once it comes into our facility, if you have preferred dispensaries, we'll make sure they get what it is. Any
Right.
overage, we hold, put it up, and then in 3 to 7 days, it's gotta be gone. Or you might get it back.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll help the growers move their stuff. We'll suggest things that they can do to get that done, but we don't wanna hold it more than 7 days.
Right. 'Cause, you know,
Unless I mean, there's certain circumstances.
There may be-
especially quicker labs.
Yes.
We won't pick anything up without a lab cert. So, and it has to be within a 72-hour window there.
Yes.
Then once we pick it up, we put them on a 7-day expiration per se.
Yes.
And sorry, darn. Anyway, so there's a 7-day, process time that
Right.
we will hold it and help, facilitate it out to
and
other
that keeps,
to dispensaries.
in my opinion, that keeps fresh product out there.
Yes.
It keeps, when people order, they can get it. Now your delivery system, we've talked about that too. I like that because now when your delivery guys,
Yes.
whenever they pick up, they go to one location. And then after that location, they find out their second location. I'm not giving away
No.
secrets.
This is on the deliveries. We're set up with an app that they'll know their first delivery.
Right.
They have to complete that one before they find their second one.
Oh, okay.
It's a
okay.
follow me.
It's a follow me setup, so they
Okay.
can't get to the second one. They don't know where it is until they make the first one.
Okay.
So no one can trace what they're doing, and they
And
really
they
don't
don't know
know
There
where
you
they're
go.
going.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Only we do in house know
The route they're going to
And
be
you
on.
don't follow the same route either. That's another thing I like, because some people, we get in patterns.
Yes, it's patterns. These are
It's
easy. Yes.
I'm going to this dispensary, then this dispensary, and this dispensary, and if you're not doing different routes,
Right.
if you're not going to different cars, it's pretty easy to track you.
And the one thing about the product that we're trying to do is we will provide the growers the heat vacuum sealer and the bags
Right.
because we want it bagged in quarter-pound bags.
Okay.
We don't have to break the seal. That's what the dispensaries buy in.
Right.
So we already have it packaged that way. It's weighed. My guys sign off on the package. It's sealed and whatever else. Put it in the bin and bring it back. It's again weighed at the warehouse to verify the weight. Make sure it's all done that way. Once it's
Right.
approved, it populates the site for being able to for other people to see.
I like it. Cool.
And it's a clean way to make it done. It's simple. It's not hard. We're not putting additional burden on the growers. We just ask a certain way so we can prove to the customer.
We provide a standard.
Yeah.
Right.
And give them a way to do it that works both ways and it's consistent always.
Always.
So even additional hubs that we're going to open up in the future, everything is going to run identical.
Yes.
And the hub deal, I love that hub concept because you can go from here and then you got it out to the smaller hubs, and the other hubs can get it out to our dispensaries. Because you can get out to the far reachings. Of
Yeah,
it.
you're moving product from the south that now can go to the north
Right.
and be stored there and exposed there where it wouldn't normally.
Where they would normally have to take
Yeah,
that
because
trip.
I don't want like pick any strain to be sold just out of one dispensary. The growers, that way this opens it up where our growers can stay at the grower
Sure.
and they can grow, and it opens it up to where people can go out.
Yes, well, it opens it up where if a dispensary in Woodward needs something from Ada, okay, the grower doesn't have to try to figure out through a broker whatever. Once it's there,
Okay, cool.
it's done.
It's exposing that grower that, for
Yeah.
the most part,
I dig
is not going to
Cool.
reach the dispensary.
All right, we're back. This Old School and Co. Sitting here with my friend Dan Hurd and Keith Kaiser from Czp Inc.
That's it.
We're going to talk a little bit about the software. Now, you wrote this, Keith. You wrote this software for Czp
Correct.
Inc. Okay, and it's a good tracking system. Now, that's one thing we haven't talked about: seed to sale tracking, because some people think seed to sale goes from the seed to the plant when it goes to processor. and then they think it's got to be tracked again, same from there to where it goes to there.
To the consumer, right?
Exact, but basically seed to sale just made it. I
It
might be
makes it
interpreting this
to the
wrong.
product, but yeah, it's supposed to be originally the way it was conceived in other states, especially is it comes from when the seed first starts to sprout or pop.
Right.
Then it's grown, it's harvested, and it becomes a flower and end product. There's your sale.
Right.
That product now becomes more products. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to track the whole system, but you can. It's very, there's, other systems out there, my software as well, which I mentioned to you before that we did offer to the state. They came into it with a different solution that's actually going to cost license holders a lot of money. And it's not coming back into the
I don't like
state.
driving up the cost on anything. I want the cost to be down for our patients. I want our patients to get good quality products. That's one thing I do like about seed to sale tracking is we get good quality products, good tested products. That's the thing I like about anything you take into your warehouse has to be tested
Must be
within
lab
72
tested,
hours
yes.
before you take
Correct.
it in. Correct.
Correct.
Cool. Now this software you can offer to any dispensary.
Yeah, we have a retail solution, which is a point of sale that will work with growers, with processors, and with dispensaries.
Right.
We have several dispensaries like Becky with THC Plus. She's also on board with going against the metric system coming in because it kind of is causing a hard time and a big panic in the industry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
because
Right, I mean,
we're
right
bringing in
now
another-
people
we're-
are just panicking because the 30th is coming up quick.
Yeah, and we're bringing in a third party. We're bringing in something from Florida. We're
Right.
sharing data with them.
Right.
They're not a. I put this politely without slandering them at all. They're just not a dependable system,
Right.
and it's a fact because as I mentioned before, March 11th in California of this year, they took the state down on all sales for 9 hours.
9 hours. Now
Okay, and
that's
that's
a long
just recent.
time for
And
a
now
state to be down.
And California's a big state. They've got a lot of license holders like we do. Well,
Right.
how do we know that's not going to happen to us? Because we're the second largest license holder state.
Yeah.
And then again, like I said, we're spending money. The state didn't come in and ask any license holders, what would you prefer? They're not using local. If you're going to push local, start using local.
There
I'm
you
not
go,
the only
yeah.
software company in Oklahoma, but we tried and we reached out, but they went with another entity. And that's costing the license holders, $40 a license. There are 10,473 active license holders right now.
Yeah.
At $40 each, they're going to pay metric, not the state. They're going to pay metric, and that's going to leave our state. That's $418,000, almost $419,000.
And then that's
That's
just
not
for
including
the
the tax.
license.
That's just
Yeah, I was gonna bring up the tax,
for the subscription, the monthly,
Right.
and that's every month we're paying that out.
Right.
So we're going to spend millions of dollars as license holders, and I hold a license myself too, not just software. I have an edibles company as well. So it affects me, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. We want to stop metric. We need to stop metric, or we need to get the state to look into another system or many. There was some legislation that was done, with HB 2004.
Right.
It said that you weren't going to be required to use a software. The OMA couldn't force you to, and then that was deleted recently in the bill. So.
And I do support 2004. That's Scott
I do too.
Getter's bill.
Yep.
It's got a lot of good language in there and stuff. But like I said, they will sit there and they will mess with the bill all the way up until the ink is dry.
Well, and that's just it. It's under review. So my understanding, when things go under review with legislation and everything, that it's a pause.
Right.
But they've continued to move forward with this, this decision, regardless of the review process. There's no finalization to the review. It's still just kind of up in the air.
Right. They follow, the rules of parliamentary procedure, removing the title, and this, that, and everything, And that's one thing that's a hassle to keep up with. So, yeah, we are watching HR 2004.
Well, it's HB 2004.
HB, yeah.
Very closely. But there's some good things though that it's reduced. Like for the transport license and veterans and caregivers, it's reduced those fees. I was
Right.
complaining about it, but the state did come out and say, "Hey, we're going a little overboard here. Why are you, in how can I say
Because there
this?"
were some bills out there that wanted to raise the price of a license from $2,500 to a astronomical
Yeah.
fee, in my opinion.
And still hit the patients, in every aspect and
Oh,
raise
yeah.
those fees.
Right.
Now they've gone down. I was complaining about that because they're like, well, we're losing revenue. Well, what are you doing with the existing revenue?
Yeah.
The millions and millions and millions of dollars that you're doing.
Well-
that you're taking in on these licenses, just activating them. They're asking dispensaries to create a model, okay, a guideline that they must operate under. How can they create that when OMA can't give them a guideline to operate under?
I know it's like you're playing a football game and we just keep moving the goalpost. And while we're moving the goalpost, we're going to change the rules on, whether you make a touchdown, running through it, or you throw the ball. Let's just keep changing the
Well,
rules.
and hopefully, as we go through this, we will give OMA a way to log in.
Yeah, our original software was made that way. I've met on Capitol Hill a few times with some officials. And we had the tax commissioner loved what we did. And he said flat out, I can log in and see anything I need to see in real time. Because everything it's an encompassing solution. It's software as a service. So it's one solution. It's a different account for every dispensary.
There you go.
And we can set rules for login. So if we want state officials or tax man to log in, he can log in and see what only he needs to see. So he's not overstepping. But he's getting his information that he needs. We have an OMA filter report built in. Our system will literally spit out all the numbers you need to do the OMA report now. Now, Metric's coming in and saying, no, you got to integrate into a system. Well, you don't, and it clearly says in the law, you don't even have to have a software. All you have to do is be able to input your data into Metric.
Right.
And then Metric's putting this 24-hour deadline on once you get your credentials, you have to log in within 24 hours or you don't get your credentials.
Right,
and there's and it's literally saying and you're not gonna. There's no way to get them after that fact. What does that mean? That means I'm not compliant because you won't allow me access to my credentials after 24 hours. These people are busy running their business, man.
Yeah.
They can't just shut everything down, and they don't know what to do with half of them don't know what to do with their credentials. They log into this thing and it's Greek to them, and we've got, their little videos and all this kind of stuff crashing or people not being able to log in to get credentials. Mm-hmm. I've got a client that's actually taking the video test on the 28th. How are they going to be compliant by the 30th?
So I'm one of them people, I'm on several different medias, and it's really hard to change my brain going from one media to another, especially when I'm first learning it. So I understand that, it's hard to learn this stuff, especially if, you're an older person like me.
Sure.
Sure.
They
agree I'm older.
I got it.
Sometimes it's hard to learn, this computer stuff, this fancy
And
button push.
if we work it right, we're going to give them that solution.
We're going to try and help as much as possible.
Right.
With the warehousing and the transport and what we're doing there, we're giving them a controlled environment that we're going to manage software-wise. They don't have to log into anything or do anything unless they've got to communicate dispensary to grower. Let's say they want to negotiate pricing.
Right.
So they're allowed to do that between the two of them. We're just a
And
facilitator.
again, you're in Oklahoma. They can contact you, right?
Yep.
Okay, I like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, we're going to take another short little break here, and you know my kind of break. We're back with Wake and Bake with Old School & Co. I'm sitting here with my friend Dan Hurd and Keith Kaiser from Czp Inc. Now, Keith, can you kind of lead us through the process of what Czp Inc does?
Okay, well, what we do is we match growers with dispensaries, and then we're the middleman in it per se. We're not a broker. We don't purchase. We don't sell. What we do is we match make. So we go to the grow facilities and reach out to them, give them the ability to tell us how much product they have. We'll pick up that product for them so they can stay focused on what they do best, and that's grow.
Right.
Bring it, we'll warehouse it. There's a timeline in between. We just discussed that earlier.
Right.
And then we reach out to the dispensaries across the state. Again, back to matchmaking. An order's put in through the software from a dispensary. They can actually log in and see all the strains from all the growers. Okay, pick what they want. We'll get samples from growers if they want to come to our facility and test something.
Oh, okay,
We'll allow them to do that. We'll have a test room where they can actually touch and feel the product. Because a lot of dispensers are going to want to do that.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we're not
yeah.
going to want. We don't want to put our transport people in that position. They're just there to move the product.
They just move this breaks it down from them being someone to sell. They just move a product from one point to another point.
Right.
And once the sale has happened, it has already happened before that move occurs.
Right. Yeah.
Correct,
They don't
correct.
do it.
They've done the
anything
negotiation,
Right.
prior to and agreed on the price. And if it gets to the dispensary and for some reason they don't, aren't going to take the delivery, it's a transport manifest. They just sign off on it. It says rejected.
Okay, there we
Everything
go.
comes back to the warehouse. It's stored it's tracked, and then it's we communicate with the grower and tell them what happened and let them make the decision from there on. We put their product back up on the market.
There you go. I like that. I like that type of tracking program. Again, seed to sale, you have seed to sale tracking. It goes from the seed to the sale.
Where it becomes retail. I mean, to the retail
Yeah.
point. Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole development of the software. That's the reason we made it the way that we made it. It's warehouse style. We call it Canazon Prime for a reason. If you think about the name, you'll understand the other big guy that's in the market.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
That we're just taking it on a different level and a different perspective. We are wholesale, in a sense, but we don't mess with the sales part.
Now, Canazon Prime, some people might have heard, like I said, like name to that or a close name to that, but y'all are entirely new entity. You've registered the name.
CZP Inc.
CZP Inc.
And there are 4 partners in this. That's all there is, and none of them
We're
were
no-
previously involved in the other.
Zero
Any other-
affiliation with anybody prior to
No.
that. Communication with nothing.
Any kind of similar
No.
name or anything
No,
like
no, no.
that? Okay.
There's a lot of people that are going to come up with names that are clever names. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
the fact that it's a matter of protecting the name, and it's still kind of up in the air as to where it's going to be a common name. And you can't federally trademark something right now because it's not a federal. It can't be a federal entity.
Right, I understand.
So
And so by going through the state and getting registered as CZP Inc., it gives us the location and the license to be able to operate this way.
Under CZP Inc. Right?
yeah, we operate under CZP Inc., but we're branded as Canazon Prime,
Okay, cool.
and it's CANNAZONN.
Yeah, it's double N's.
Yeah, double N's.
That's like that time I was doing a live feed,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking about Regina Nelson's Canadian certification class, and it was spelled out. And I had live, and I had to read it live. Okay, that's a heck of a word
Yes,
to
it-
read right off
yep.
the bat. But we got through it,
But this creates a solution to the industry that they haven't had before. And we're covering all aspects of it so that the entities can actually do what they do best.
And I like the security part of it because it keeps growers in the grow. It keeps processors in their processors. You got 2 armed security people that are just moving product from one place to another.
Correct.
GPS tracking, so you know where they're at.
Right.
You know where the product's at.
Right.
You know when they get there. You
Right.
know when they leave. Now, like I say, are your employees vets?
Well, most of them are vets. A lot of them are retired law enforcement that just sit in a recliner.
Yeah.
They've got the skill set we want to make sure it happens. Because the worst thing to happen is we have to do something. But we're going to be 99% of us are saying we never have that issue. But if they do something, I want to make sure that they've got the skill set to be able to resolve it.
Right.
And the maturity, and that's
Yes.
just it. There's a lot of people hiring younger security. They don't know how to handle situations because they've never been in them.
No,
And especially when you're transporting, high volumes of cannabis, and you're also you're retracting high volumes of money.
Yeah.
And back to we're the only ones that know the route.
I
For
like
these
that.
guys. So it's safety for them too. We're protecting
Oh
them
yeah,
as
you're
well.
protecting
Yeah.
your guys because you're protecting your people because you use different cars, you use different routes.
It's different. There's no way to track it.
No way to
All the
track.
vehicles they're not stored outside. They come inside and whatever else. They
Right.
don't know what's leaving and where it's going.
And you use different guys, because you get used to one grower or somebody going to one process, one dispensary.
Right.
You've got different guys that go on, boom, boom, boom.
Fresh
boom.
eyes looking at it. Fresh eyes looking at it all the time.
Always fresh. Yeah.
Yes.
And there's something else that we did discuss. It was a lot of discussion. As a matter of fact, we're trying to make this an affordable solution as well. So, to the growers, we've done some research on competitive pricing and stuff, and we want to come in small, and a fair rate. speaking with a lot of growers, stuff like that, some of the pricing that we had come up with, they're all about it. They don't blink an eye. So what we're doing is we're starting them off at $400 a month, and then there's a 5% commission on the sale.
Right.
And that's for the grower side. On the dispensary side, it's $100 a month and a 2.5%
Okay.
on the sale. So it's 7.5% total that we make back on the sale, and then there's a monthly fee. But right now, as we're launching, we want to come in with something and say, okay, look, get on board with this. We're going to cut those fees in half right now, other than the
Okay.
percentages. So it would be $200 to a grower and $50 to a dispensary to get signed up.
I like discounts and cutting fees in half. So rather than your regular $400 a fee, if someone signs up now, they heard about it here, it'll be $200. Now, how long are you going to do this?
Our initial launch we're trying to get off by May 1st. Okay, so we're going to do it through June, maybe even July. We're not going to hold you into it, based on the fact that it might, while we're opening up and getting the doors, getting progress going on our end,
Right.
we're not going to penalize you for it. It's
Okay, there you go.
$200 until we're ready to pick up your first delivery.
there you go. I
And then
like
30
that.
days from that.
Yeah.
Low pressure, okay?
Yes. So if you don't have anything ready to go and ship to us,
Right.
we're not going to penalize you
No.
because you can't do it then.
Yeah, you'll pay the
Okay.
$200,
We're gonna ride
but
out.
we'll ride it out until we're ready.
Until you're ready to
pick
pick up, and then we'll go because actually we're providing you the service.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. And people can contact you through, do you have a website yet?
Yes. It's Canazon Prime, CANNAZONN Prime.com.
Okay, cool.
So there. And then we've got a local phone number too, 405-339-7880. So think 788 is in that.
788 is in it. Okay, now you are a local Oklahoma company. And I've known you for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 years, so a local company, everything developed in Oklahoma, and what you're trying to do is keep all the money that's generated in Oklahoma.
With what we're doing and the way the software works for us, everything stays in Oklahoma.
Right.
Yeah,
There's
nothing is
goes out.
Nothing ships
Nothing's leaving the
across
state.
line.
Money's not going out of the state. It's staying local because my software company is local.
Right.
And so, I'm not providing for other states. I'm not trying to do that. Oklahoma has its own unique hub system. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap it up here. This was Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. And the phrase I like is
toke up and tune
in.
Set me sign to the bodies on a water for my service. 2 line in it, set me sign to the bodies on a water for my service. Water whipping, water dripping. Broke the pack, mixed it with the measure.